22 degrees. That's one higher than the weatherman. Only one more to go, and Barbara's going to win this. I said 24 degrees, believe me. Barbara said 23, and she's threatening to take it out. Yeah, don't want to talk about it anymore, really. Wednesday, it is officially hump day, middle of the week, and May the 12th right here. And let me do this first. Believe me, you're going to love it. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and believe me, today I am absolutely elated. I really am. Heading over to Germany, just out of Dusseldorf actually, and catching up with a good friend of ours. Yes, Khalif Wailin Walter is joining us out of Chicago, but not today, really. For those of you that are joining us right now on Facebook Live, got to say thank you for tuning in yet again. If you're going to watch a little later on over there on YouTube, you know what to do, right? You do, you really do. Sub, thumb, bell. Bingo. Bell, because that lets you know when we got important people like Khalif Wailin Walter. And believe me, it's really exciting. You're going to love his music. In the meantime, I tell you what, let's kick it off. Here's Superwoman. Ah, dear. How you feeling, bro?
Good, cool.
Nice.
Cool. Very lively watching you on the radio, man. That's cool.
Believe me, bro, I've done it once or twice now, and they tend to want me to come back and do it again. They do. But if it wasn't for, you see, we don't put ads in this. We put an ID stinger in every now and again, but we don't. We're not worried about money. This is about the music. It's about the artist. It's about the songwriting, the process, the whole deal. It's all about music, and we like to say we play tomorrow's music here today. So we're in the future. You know what I mean? So it's a platform now, sir, for you to be able to stand up and explain to everybody in the world. 74 countries are tuned in right now.
Wow,
by the way.
Cool. Wow.
And I'll give you the sum total of how many people were online for this interview at the end of this. No use giving it to you now because, you know, it's going to change. You know what I mean? So I'll give you that. But for every...
We've got York on.
Got York online. Ah. Look at that. Nice to have you with us, brother man. It really is. I'm looking forward to catching up with you again too in the near future, my bro. Really are. Today, you know, we're talking to
John.
Khalif.
Greetings from today, and catch up with you yesterday, today, tomorrow.
Who are you talking to, Barbara?
John Pater.
John Pater's online. Nice to have John online too. Khalif, John's daughter, Ashley Pater, she's actually done something no other artist has ever done yet in the history of Galaxy, and that's put 3 songs on the top 40 charts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Not bad. Yeah.
Anyway, my bro.
Not bad at all.
Let's go to the desk. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. It is 20 minutes after 11 o'clock, 25 degrees. All of a sudden we just gone straight on by and I win. That makes it official, it really does. I'm cleaning up this week. I really am. Not often happens, so I'm absolutely relishing that. It's Wednesday, May the 12th, and I'm joined by Khalif Wailin Walter, coming out of Dusseldorf, pretty much, right now in Germany, but hailing primarily coming out of Chicago, and we always love people in Chicago. I've got good friends in Chicago Heights. Believe me.
Cool, yeah.
Yep, believe me, I've got some very good friends over there, so I can give them a shout out over in Chicago. And believe me, I always get into trouble over there. I really do. I'm sure your police force know about me coming on the way. Our police force here will let them know, give them a heads up. Grant's coming. Really happens. Khalif, it is an absolute pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you very much. It is very nice to be here.
Well, you know something, my friend, and I was very, very taken by you and your music when we first met on Yorg's World.
Yorg's program, yeah, yep.
Absolutely brilliant. Now, I see Yorg is online right now. And,
cool. Hey, Yorg.
Tina's online as well, and love to Tina and also to Little Angel, believe me. Nice to have you guys back again. It really, really is. John Pater's online as well. Nice to have John Pater online. Believe me, loving the new stuff. Sober, yep, got it, love it, absolutely do. Now, at the same time, Khalif, we opened up the show with Superwoman.
Yeah.
Now, we like to call our audience an audio audience, and not fans, because believe me, you know, we love our audio audience. We really, really do. So, explain to us, how did the lyrics come to be?
That's about my mom. That's actually about my mom. Yeah. I wrote the lyrics. This is crazy. The song was originally something completely different. It was a song sort of about Motown and Motown grooves and the Motown influence that I feel. And the song just never sat well with me. And we were getting ready to record the vocals. I had a friend come over and he was going to press record and I was going to do the vocals. And literally while he was on the way over, I said, I'm just not feeling this. And I sat down and scratched it and rewrote the song. Luckily he was late. He was about 25 minutes late showing up. But I literally rewrote the song while I was waiting for him to come over. And it's about my mom. Yeah.
Well, you couldn't get a better Superwoman. And, we've actually just celebrated Mother's Day just a couple of days ago. Actually.
Yeah, yep, we sure did, yep.
It seems to be
to her for Mother's Day a couple of years ago.
Yeah, believe me, what a great idea, and as a good son would do. Yeah, believe me.
Yes, right.
Yeah, exactly. Now, at the same time, Khalif, we met on Yorg's World, and we absolutely loved your work then. At the moment, I don't presume that you're doing a lot of shows right now. Believe me, I'm hearing it from every artist everywhere in the world. The same deal, you know, it's the COVID thing. I'm doing a lot of writing, doing a lot of recording. Got to welcome on board too, by the way, Terry Van Cannon's joining us. Nice to have you on board, my bro, coming out of North Carolina. Great lap steel guitarist Terry Van Cannon is.
Oh, great, wonderful.
Absolutely stunning guitarist. Oh, by the way, he's also, I think, president or former president of the Blues Association in North Carolina.
Oh, wonderful. Cool.
Yeah, and we support the blues. Not primarily, we support everything, but I got to be honest with you, Khalif, we only play the good stuff.
Okay. Thank you.
That's why you're here with us today, believe me. We absolutely love your work, we do. And I got to let you know, it gets passed by a board of 12 people. They are interested in a number of things, but more interested in our image, so it's got to fit. You know what I mean?
Cool. Yeah.
You're in like Flynn. You really, really
Cool.
are. Now, who would you say you base your style from?
Believe it or not, I think my biggest influence from a guitar standpoint is Otis Rush. I know it's hard to hear that, but if I had to pick just one guitar player, I'd say Otis Rush. But I mean, really, I'm a huge Albert King fan. I love Albert Collins. I'm a very, very big Kenny Burrell fan as well. Wes Montgomery, Gatemouth Brown, another huge influence. Oh boy, there's too many to even name. The Grant Green, I'm also a very big Grant Green fan as well. Hubert Sumlin, another guitar player. I'm very much influenced by Lonnie Brooks. There's no way around that one. And also very, very influenced by Carl Weathersby from Chicago. There's no way around that one. Those two, yeah.
You know, Khalif, I actually thought I had a little bit of Buddy Guy in there as well.
Buddy's another influence of mine. Buddy, I can't even count how many times I've seen him. Buddy was Blues University for us. Every Monday night at Buddy Guy's, they had the jam session, and we would go down there. And really, the jam sessions I've seen recently are nothing like the jam sessions I saw back then. I mean, I ended up getting up. The first time I ever played on a blues stage was with Junior Wells Band. And those guys, they were not there to be your friend. They were there to take your head off, you know. And the thing is that if you had enough, I don't know if I can use that word, cojones, if you had enough cojones to keep coming back, then you would learn something, you know. And I was one of those guys where the first time they sent me home crying. I mean, really, literally, I remember, I'm not going to name his name, but he unplugged my guitar at the end of the set. He unplugged my guitar and sort of whispered in my ear, "You need to go home and learn some blues because that's not it." And sent me home, I mean, crying. But I was like, I was determined to learn this. So I came back and I got my butt kicked on a regular basis. But you see where I am now. So it worked.
Yeah, believe me, I remember the days of cutting heads. I really, really do.
Yeah.
And you know, it makes you stronger for it if you've got the will to take the knocks and go with the roll. Yes, you're going to learn something.
Yeah. If you see it in a positive way, I mean, they weren't trying to destroy me, but if you're willing to walk away from it that quickly, you know, if one bad experience makes you walk away from it, you don't have enough. You can't survive in this business anyway.
No.
If you can't take that kind of criticism, you know, one time, then you need to find something else to do.
Yeah,
this is not the right business for you. Exactly.
Go and be an IT guy.
Yeah.
Hey, we need IT guys. Don't worry about it. We really, really do. Believe me, I couldn't live without mine as well. Terry Van Cannon, a North Carolinian, of course, is joining us. The Lap Steel guy. He says, well, bro, he loves your music.
Thank you.
And that's big praise. Believe me, he has so many blues people from his region. And he's handed us so much good music. It is unreal. So coming from Terry Van Cannon, very big praise. It really, really is. Now,
thank you.
Tell me about I've Made a Change.
That actually, I wrote that originally, wow. That sounds almost, I think it's 20 years old. It's really old. I originally wrote it actually for Tyrone Davis. And unfortunately, I finished writing it. It took me a long time to get the demo because we don't have the technology we have today. And by the time all of it was done, he had passed away. So the song literally sat around for years. And the reason why I brought it back now specifically was horns have become more important to me. And I think I'm able to handle R&B stuff, R&B style from a vocal standpoint. I think when I first wrote the song, I was writing it for somebody else, but I didn't have that voice, that singing style in my repertoire at the time. And because I've been working a lot on my singing in the last couple of years, I believe my voice itself is now an instrument on its own. And so on the new CD, you can hear me trying to sing some things that I probably wouldn't have sung five years ago, even. Superwoman being one of them. Superwoman, I wrote a sort of kind of a Motown kind of song. I've Made a Change is written sort of as a Tyrone Davis kind of song. And yeah, you have to be able to sing to hit those songs. I mean, you have to.
Okay, well, I tell you what, playing live here at Galaxy is Khalif Wailin Walter, and I'm really proud to have him with us. I've Made a Change here at Galaxy. Geez, Khalif, it's bloody warm in here, I got to be honest with you.
Wow.
Really
you guys are so lucky. I would gladly trade 25. I'd trade that.
Oh gosh, we have this newfangled air conditioning thing here called "Open a Bloody Window, Will You?"
Yeah, I never ever complain about the heat, no matter how warm it gets here. That is one thing I never do.
We have a number of people inside the office here. It's not just me and Barbara. There's a number of people here to make these work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not faint if it's too hot.
Too many people in a kind of a restricted area.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to stop breathing.
Yeah, I opened the window. I turned on the air conditioning.
You turned on the air conditioning.
Yeah.
Good on ya. Believe me. My on-air producer, by the way, Khalif, is my voice in my head. You know what I mean? She gives me stats, she gives me information like that. Every woman that I talk to love this deal because it's actually my wife. So she really is the voice in my head. But more importantly, why they love it is, well, she gets paid to be the voice in my head. You know what I mean? Every woman loves that idea. I want to be paid to be a voice in the man's head. Bro, I misplaced my car keys the other day, right? And the wife says, "Oh, they're in the kitchen on the table." You know, I went out there, couldn't see them come back. I went, "Are you sure they're on the table?" She goes, "You looked like a man, didn't you?" Guilty. Absolutely.
If it was a snake, it would have jumped out and bit you.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what Tonto said, don't you? White man, you're gonna die. Believe me. Are you a vegan?
No. No.
Okay, so, well, look, have you ever tried vegan sausages?
No, I had vegan hamburgers before, though.
Okay. Were they made of real vegans?
No.
They were made of vegetables.
No.
Just asking. Hang in there, bro. You will survive this.
I haven't heard that in so long. That's me singing all of those background vocals too.
That's right, you're right, here at Galaxy 107 FM. Absolute pleasure to have everybody joining us, not only on the radio, but also on Facebook Live as well. Very, very pleased to be able to bring you Khalif Wailin Walter today. coming out of, well, just out of Dusseldorf, about 20 minutes down the Autobahn, compared to Chicago, you take you 3 hours just to get 2 blocks in Chicago, believe me. Believe me, it does. Khalif, it's an absolute pleasure to have you with us. Now, I do have a fan question for you. And believe me, the producer's saying, please ask them this because the fans want to know. As a fan, Khalif, how do we get hold of you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? But more importantly, Khalif, do you respond?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, I'm really good about that. Yeah. And sometimes I surprise people. Some people. Sometimes I just drop something in. If there's a demo or something that I got done, I just drop it in people's messenger on Facebook or something. I'm actually. It takes a lot of time maintaining the Facebook and all that stuff, but yeah, I keep up with it. Yeah. And it's cool. I'm a fan of the music too, and I've just I love communicating with other musicians, and yeah, I've got the website's under construction right now, but it'll be back up in about 2-3 days, I think. That I have a website and Facebook, and I've got a SoundCloud too. When I dump a lot of stuff, I try something demos and I'll dump a demo on the SoundCloud just so everybody can kind of keep up with what's going on. So yeah, pretty interactive in that sense.
Yeah, and I tell you what, we're supposed to be expecting SoundClouds here this afternoon as well. Heaps of thunder, lightning coming along the way. Believe it, true it is. We are expecting it today. But at the same time, and believe me, I wouldn't have said yes, to be quite honest. I never respond to anybody simply because I never get the time. But now you're going to get about another 5,000 Facebook fans in no time at all. You'll be too busy. You'll be too busy texting everybody to be able to, write music. Now, at the same time, I understand that your website is under construction, everything like that. Are you going to have a merch store on there as well?
Yeah. That's part of the reason why it's getting redone is just getting it reorganized. So yeah. Nice. You can buy a lot of the music. This CD, the stuff you're playing, you can't buy that on my website because I don't own the distribution rights. I signed with a record label for this one, so that one. But all the old stuff and the solo stuff I do, you can get there at my website.
Very, very cool, Colonel, believe me. And I'm a big fan of yours. Now, I got to let you know, I mean, I'm an engineer, not only just a DJ, but I've been an engineer now for almost 40 years. Yeah,
oh, cool.
I'm only 21 though, right? This is what radio does to you. It does. It does. But, at the same time, I've been an engineer, not only front of house, but also studio engineer. And when I very first heard your music, I said to Barbara, Jesus, I want to have a little bit more of that. I want to have a listen to some more of that because it's not often that an engineer like me finds somebody that I'm super excited about, more interested, cool. You know what I mean? And, I kind of found that in your music. Now, Barbara put something together. Now, believe me, I listen to people's music in my car. Now, for 2 reasons, usually, and let me take you through the process here, Caleb, is that Barbara gets between 30 and 50 bands a day wanting to do the interviews, right? Now, let's break it down to we only have a certain amount of time in a week to be able to do these in the first place. And then, so she's got to whittle this down. Now, 50 bands a day, you know what I mean? Incredible. Yeah. She takes what she whittles down and takes that to production, and here they argue, they toss, they fight, they throw pillows at each other, all the, but down it comes again, then it goes to a board, the board approves it, then she comes to me with a little USB device that I play in my car. Now, reason for that, 2 reasons, actually. First reason is, and believe me, I get no information, nothing at all I get is the music. Don't tell me the titles, the artists, anything, you know what I mean? Just the music. That there is my way of deciding whether or not I want to do the interviews without anybody else's influence. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's my take on it. The other reason is, well, to be honest with you, Khalif, nobody else wants to drive with me. It's true.
That's not fair.
No, but they kind of think going sideways is weird. It's not. It's normal for it. I mean, Barbara understands fully because, I mean, even her son is a New Zealand champion car racer, goes sideways, and her grandson, another national champion, goes sideways. Everybody here, pussy. Pussy. Literally, they can't hear.
You be you, Grant. You be you.
Yeah, but besides, I can't hear
Ignore them.
Yeah, well, I can't hear the music over the screams sometimes. You know what I mean? Gets damned annoying. To shove a beer can in people's faces. Shut up. I'm trying to listen to you. You know, it could get on your one last nerve. I think
Segway.
I think that's a winner. Tell me about one last nerve, my bro, please.
That came from me dealing with someone that's no longer in my life, and I had it. I mean, I had just absolutely, literally had it, and I was sort of writing the words as I went along, and then I had a conversation and ended up recording the song right after that discussion, shall we say. and so the thing that was funny was I don't like to take, usually I like to do a rough take of the vocals, just so I have the words down, I see how everything fits, and then go back later and really sing it. And it became very clear that there was no way I could get that type of emotion channeled back into the song that I had when I did. That's the first take. I cleaned it up a little bit with some Melodyne, but with some pitch correction. But yeah, that's the first take of that vocal, because what you heard is really me being on my one last nerve, and that one was about to go. So,
believe me, my bro, I hear it all the time. I've got one nerve, you're on it. That's coming from the wife right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Happy to have everybody here today. Khalif Wailin Walter is joining us. Here's One Last Nerve. Woo-hoo. 119 cities around the world are joining us.
wow.
I'm loving it. I am loving it, believe me.
That is very cool.
Believe me, bro. Wait until I give you the numbers at the end of this.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, 74 countries, brilliant. Love it, love it,
Yeah.
love it. 119 cities around the world. Thank you so much. And we want you to tell your friends, we do. Let's get a few other cities in there. Some of your sister cities even. Let's get it happening. But believe me, individual numbers will blow you away when I give you those.
Great, man. Great.
Now, we will give you a copy of everything we do today, bro. We will.
Yeah.
After we do this, Barbara will actually put together a movie for you. And we'll transpose this over into YouTube so that you can have a copy of that. Some photos. We do some crazy photos afterwards, so I'll apologise now, okay? You'll be able to put the photos on your phone like wallpapers, show your friends, Kiwis, not healthy, don't do it. Those guys are nuts down there. But just something to ponder, my bro. I don't see that this virus is going to last forever and a day, right? We're going to beat this MF. We are going to beat it. Would you consider, once all the coast is clear, coming to New Zealand and playing in front of New Zealand audiences?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you guys are on my short list. There's still some places I haven't played, and I would love to come down there. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So,
we would love to be able to do, maybe about 4 shows here in New Zealand, maybe about 8 in Australia. Make it worthwhile. Let's do an Australasian tour. Bro, we would love to have you. We've got a number of other blues artists that we were kind of thinking, if not 4 shows, maybe 2 major festivals, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And believe me, we have so many blues people that want to come to New Zealand.
Cool.
I think, nothing better than getting together with a whole heap of blues people and throwing some
Really
alcohol at it.
great. I love that. And also the lecture I do, the lecture, I would love to. I consider myself more of like a blessed historian. I'm able to go around and keep the history of this music, and I've had some wonderful people sit down with me: Albert Collins, B.B. King, Dion Payton from Chicago, Carl Weathersby, Johnny Clyde Copeland, Lonnie Brooks. I spent hours with him. Billy Branch. These guys all gave me a little bit of something, and it would be very, very selfish of me to not pass that on. And with the degree that I have,
Khalif, sorry to cut in there, my bro. I want to, with respect, I actually do want to talk about that, but let's go back to the desk.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna lose my damn mind. Don't keep doing me the way you do.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and believe me, it is an absolute pleasure to have Khalif Wailin Walter joining us, coming out of, Germany today, but believe me, he's a Chicago boy. He's down, he's down. We Wailin, we are Wailin, believe me, we are. But in the meantime, we were talking just a little bit off air about maybe getting Khalif down here in New Zealand. Once the borders open up again, he indicates to us he would love to do it. But tell me about this education. You're a very highly educated man, and I respect history. I really do. If we don't adhere to our history, learn from our history, we will never be able to move forward, literally.
That's true.
So, my bro, tell me a little bit about this history that you tell everybody about.
Yeah, I studied jazz music at Roosevelt University in Chicago. And during the time I was there, I ended up doing an interview with Captain Jack McDuff, the organ player. And most of what everybody always asked them about was music. And I just sort of kind of happened across some questions. He said some things, and I happened across some questions about being an African American and traveling and playing this music. And with my studies, part of also studying was also had to learn some of African American history to go along with it. And I completely and totally fell in love with the subject and realized that the two could be married very well together, African American history and the study of the music itself as a partial oral African American history. And so for me, I mean, I have been incredibly lucky with the people that I've encountered in blues and the people that have given me just a few minutes of their time, and the list. I mean, B.B. King sat down with me, gave me a guitar lesson. Albert Collins sat down, gave me a guitar lesson. Lonnie Brooks, I was in his band for 4 years. I used to go to his house all the time and just hang out with him. Louisiana Red in Germany here, I used to go hang out with him all the time, and spent time with Billy Branch, with Carl Weathersby, Carlos Johnson in Chicago. Just the amount of history that these guys gave to me, and the music that they gave me, and I want to pass that on. I ended up in blues because of a chance. I mean, completely and totally 1 in a million chance meeting with B.B. King. I was the biggest AC/DC and Van Halen fan on the planet, and I got backstage at a B.B. King show. First, the show just blew me away. And then I got backstage, and he sat down and gave me like a half-hour guitar lesson.
and that was it for me. That was I wanted to play blues. From that point on, I was like, I want to do this. This is what I want to do. And for me, it's our music, it's our history, it's our culture, it's our heritage, and it would be wrong of me not to share this, to pass it on, and to keep their memory, the wonderful things that they've given me. Otis Rush is another one. He sat down with me. To keep their memory alive, to keep their spirit alive, to keep this music alive, to keep our culture alive. That's why I do it. I want people, younger people, to hear it and understand it, and really understand the connection of that music and see where it connects to the hip hop and stuff that we listen to today, or the rock and roll that they listen to. You know, the White Stripes, and where did the Rolling Stones come from? Where did the AC/DC come from? These guys all listen to blues, and so I try to connect the youth with that music so that I'm doing my part to keep it alive.
That is so cool, and much respect here. Passion. You can hear the passion there.
Yes.
Believe me, I respect that, I do. AC/DC, give you a little secret, my bro. The drummer, Phil, lives about an hour and a half away from where we are right now. Believe me.
Please tell him I said hi, and I'd love to meet him.
Well, here's the deal. You see, every time they come to New Zealand to play, I'm actually their official engineer.
Oh, wow.
And we hang out with people like Dave Evans, the very first AC/DC lead singer, all the time. Literally, we do. No Brian, no Angus, no the rest of them like the back of my hand. I've spent 25, 27 years hanging out with these guys. I know them so much, believe me. So I've done my time as an engineer, and believe me, I've toured the world with another Australian band. Australia just can't seem to get past 4 letters. AC/DC, Lightning Bolt, yeah, okay, fair enough. There's another one with 4 letters. Think about it. It starts with INX. Yeah, literally.
Oh, wait a minute, is it Sticks from there? Sticks?
No, well, actually it ends in an S. It does.
Okay.
Yeah, INXS.
Oh, NXS. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I haven't heard them in years. Yeah. I totally forgot about them.
Well, actually, here's one for you. We're interviewing a guy tomorrow. Now, this is 3 years in the making, for God's sake. But, of course, he's Australian, so, yeah, I understand that. I get it. But his name is Delacoma Rio. Huge artist. Also stands in for the NXS show. You know what I mean? So,
Oh, cool. Yeah.
very, I understand why it's 3 years old. Why we've been chasing you for 3 years, Delacoma. I really do. You're Australia. You come from Melbourne. There you go. That explains it. Believe me,
Nice.
New Zealand and Australia, we love to banter with each other. You know what I mean? You will find this out when you come to New Zealand. Now, I got to warn you, bro. We're a little bit crazy here in New Zealand. We are.
That's okay.
Well,
Crazy is a universal language.
are you up for a few challenges then? Do you like doing things that get the old pump going every day?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too. It's usually starting off first thing in the morning, to be honest with you. That really is a good start, getting up. Believe me. But I tell you what, have you ever heard of a hoo-hoo grub?
No.
Believe me. The indigenous folks here in New Zealand, called the Maori, still today use this as a delicacy, and believe me, I will get Barbara to send you the instructional video to show you that I'm not pulling your leg, but well, you're familiar with a caterpillar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is well, it's a caterpillar on steroids. It's like a double-decker bus to a mini. It's big, it's white, it's got a black head, and what you do is you put the live body in your mouth, rip off the head. Don't eat the head, it's yucky, but when you crunch down on the body, it's like eating creamy peanut butter.
Oh, okay.
It's one of those mind things, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll have to take your word for it on that one.
We'll send you the videos, don't worry about it. You will say, yes, Grant wasn't telling me a lie, they are crazy there in New Zealand. But now, are you familiar with New Zealand at all? Do you know anything about New Zealand?
Yeah, I actually grew up on an island that's near you guys, Guam.
Yep.
Oh, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, my father was military, so when I was from 6 to 12, I lived there, and I remember it's very, very warm. The toilet goes in the opposite direction.
Well, that's really weird, actually, because it's just the north and south northern and southern hemispheres. The way the water goes down the two. Yeah, believe me, it's kind of weird. But Guam, I understand Guam. You may see Old Glory in the background there, bro. That's quite simply because I was actually born in Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
My father is a Native American Indian. Well, you know, an indigenous American Indian. My mother was Scottish. My mother was Scottish, so you can understand the turmoil that goes on with me there, can't you? Literally, you can. But I was adopted here in New Zealand. Literally, my father thought this was the safest country in the world, and he went off to Vietnam. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
So
okay. Yeah.
he wanted at least one of his progeny to be safe somewhere in the world. So I was it, bags you're it, you know what I mean? So I got brought up by... Well, I don't know whether it was a blessing or not. You know, nice to be adopted, but when you're adopted by somebody that plays with explosives every day, it's an interesting home. It really. My father, he was the World War II vet. He was a desert rat. Went through the African desert with a bayonet, looking for landmines.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, some sort of. Yeah, you believe me. In New Zealand in peacetime, they would say he's mental, put him in a home. Yeah? But believe me, he excelled in his job. He came back, worked for the New Zealand mines here as a powder monkey blowing stuff up. And, well, I learnt everything there is to know about how to blow stuff up. You know what I mean?
And you most probably could still.
It's an important skill, you know. There's ever a zombie apocalypse, you know, somebody needs to learn how to do that.
Well, the really good thing is, well, you know, everybody in our little town where I grew up knew that my father was an explosives expert, so when I got angry at some of the school kids that were trying to beat me up, I'd just say, I'm coming to blow your house up. Believe me, I did it.
Problem solved.
Yeah, exactly. They believed it. You know what I mean?
He would,
Literally. And I could tell you so many stories about, like going fishing, for instance, with a stick of dynamite. We didn't take rods with us. No, we would take a little tinny boat, go out onto a lake. Dad would cut up a stick of dynamite into 3, put in a deadhead. Now, have you ever seen, an Australian guy, what was his name, Hogan, Crocodile Dundee.
Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, the hat and the stogie cigar and everything. That's the splitting image of my father, right? I kid you not, I really kid you not. But, you know, I'm talking 20 years before Hogan ever came around. Now, we're on this little tinny out in the middle of a lake up in the high mountains, literally. He goes, we're going fishing. I went, okay, and I'm going to get the rods. He goes, don't need them, right? We get out there onto this lake. He's chopping up this stick of dynamite, sticking literally a death head. He's chugging on a cigar, and, well, he lights it. He's talking away to you. This thing's burning like crazy. Your eyes are fixed on wherever that thing's going in his hand, right? And suddenly he just tosses it over the side, boom! And up come all these concussed fish, right? He says, all right, I've done the fishing, you go and get the catching. Pick you up, throw you off the edge, off the boat, go and get the fish, boy, that's it. We go home. Yeah, we'd go home, the old lady would say, how's the fishing going? And the old man would say, oh, we got 1 or 2. I walk in with 20 of the bloody things. He was a master at it. crazy, crazy man, but it was a lot of fun to live with.
Efficient.
New Zealand is made up of 3 islands. Now check this out. This is really important, Khalif. It really, really is. Because right down the very bottom of New Zealand is a little place called Stewart Island. Now, if you weigh it up, it's the only bloody island in New Zealand that actually got a name. Because, well, whoever named this place literally ran out of imagination after that and called the next one South. Ingenious, right? Guess what followed? North Island. Logical,
The
right?
Kanye West school of naming islands.
Yeah, believe it. Well, hey, listen, if you really weigh it up, now, this is really a contentious one as well. If you think about it, scientists these days, we're looking for the Goldilocks planet, aren't we? We're looking for Earth too, you know what I mean? And, well, we have the audacity of naming these pieces of rock in the middle of space without even asking those people that own it if we can. Secondly, if they come with the moon, they actually name the moon as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but look at ours. It's called Moon.
Moon, yeah.
I mean, for years, Khalif, I've been wanting to change that. I really, really have. I've been canvassing everybody around the world. I want to call it Celestial Body Brian. Well, hell, it would look good on a check, don't you think? Anyway, he's wondering why he's coming onto the show now. He's going, why did I do it? Why did I do it? Khalif, why did I do it?
Why?
Why?
Yeah, tell us, why did I do it?
That song, it's actually the story. It's kind of a sad story. It was a guy who I met him at Buddy Guys at a jam session, and he came. He sat down on the stage in a stool and poured. He had a cardboard piece of paper, and he poured some sand on it, and put a microphone on his feet, and he played castanets in one hand and played harmonica in the other, and he used his feet rubbing the sand to make the percussion. It was the most soulful thing I have ever seen in my life. It was absolutely, just haunting what he did. He told me he had just gotten home. He said, oh yeah, I've been gone for like 20 years, and he told me he'd just gotten home. And I was like, oh, where were you living? I thought he was living, out of the country or something. And he's like, oh, no, I've been in prison for the last, 24 years or something. And it was the story he told me. He had come home from work, and he found his best friend and his wife in bed. And he said, without even thinking about it, I reached into the drawer, I pulled out the pistol, and I shot both of them dead. And he said, now, why did I do it? I wasted 25 years of my life. But he's like, I'm not going to sit here and dwell on it anymore. It's done. It's over with. But yeah, I don't know why I did it. And that's actually the song that was me sort of filling in the rest of the story with that. And I took some liberty of taking some of the influence of the Kinsey Report from Chicago and mixing a little bit of that reggae and a little bit of that sort of Albert King. Don Kinsey is another great guitar player from Chicago, another influence of mine. And Don, the very first time I was in Chicago, I saw the Kinsey Report and Dion Payton and the 43rd Street Band at Kingston Mines. Completely and totally blew me away. But Dion Payton, he played sort of like a Santana-y kind of rock blues mix with a very funky soul to it. And the Kinsey Report played a very reggae-y sort of mix of Albert King and reggae kind of blues. And it was like, that was when I realized, oh, you know what, all this stuff these things can coexist. You know, I had never, even after I met BB King, the hardest part I found when I first got to Chicago was I couldn't find my voice in the blues. And when I saw those two guys, I was like, then everything just kind of went click, snap, bam in the back of my head. And I was like, you know what? All of these things can coexist. I mean, you just have to find how to put these elements together. But yeah, that was just an amazing thing for me. And that's the song I think it's, I get probably the most critique for that. People saying, oh, that's not really blues. And it's like, listen to it. That is the blues, man. It tells a story. That's the blues, man. That is the blues.
Khalif, I got to let you know, and believe me, you may be interested in this. 1,277 requests for this particular track since we've been playing you.
Wow. Cool.
People listen, they request,
Cool.
and we play it right here at Galaxy. Is Khalif Wailin Walter. Why did I do it?
Thank you.
How you feeling, Khalif?
Cool.
Nice.
You're definitely right. This is a different kind of interview. I've never done an interview where I was speechless, and that you got me with Brian. That was.
Believe me, bro. We would love to have you back. Would you come back again?
He's so funny.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to. Yeah, this is fun.
Nice. I did say you'll probably never do another one like these again.
Terry has a question for him.
Terry has a question for him.
Yeah.
Can Khalif tell us about his guitar amp and any effects he uses? So
Sure.
I'll ask you that when we go back to air, okay?
Okay.
But,
Give me a
nice.
second. I'll reach behind me here. Hang on.
I hope the thing doesn't fall off. Well,
Don't you hate it when the X runs away? Look at that.
It's sitting behind me. Just happens to be sitting, and the other one is down here. I picked that one up. This one's in pieces right now, but the one that most of the guitar was recorded, this CD was recorded with this guitar right here, but it's in pieces at the moment. So
Oh, okay.
that's this one. Yeah.
It's
in
under
pieces at the
construction.
moment, but yeah, I'm
And
doing some work on it.
that little black insignia on your guitar there, is that your personal insignia? Is it your letterhead?
It certainly is.
I picked up on that.
Yeah, that's my logo.
That is cool. That is
Yeah.
so you're going to have your logo put on you.
cool. Yeah. Gail Hammond is watching. One of the Hammond brothers. Are you familiar with the Hammond brothers, bro?
Don't know them, no.
They're legendary country artists, literally Hall of Famers.
Oh, cool.
And good
Hi,
friends
Gail.
of us here at Galaxy.
Nice
They
to
really
meet
are.
you.
Dale and Gail Hammond. They love what we do. They're doing a TV series right now too, by the way. And
Cool.
they love to watch inspiring artists that we interview, much like yourself, bro. You never know, you might
Cool.
actually get a tap on the shoulder from one of the Hammond brothers saying, hey, we'd love to do a
Cool.
show together. You never know.
That'd be very cool.
Oh, believe me, bro, we have so
Anything's
many
possible.
close friends from around the world that just love to want to be able to network and work with each
Cool.
other, you know what I mean?
Cool, yeah.
And,
Very
Well-
nice.
well, you see what happens when you go on York's World, you end up laughing at
Yeah.
me.
York's
That's
You
World.
good.
never know who you're going to run into.
Yeah, exactly. And then you run into me, oh my God. Let's go back to the desk.
Cool. Oh, I love that ending.
Got to admit, I do too. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. It is 10 after 12 o'clock, 24 degrees. It's still, still my number. I did say 24 anyway, so we're going to last there. And I beat Barbara again. Doesn't happen often, but I tell you what, relish loving it. It is Wednesday, May the 12th, and believe me, I'm absolutely loving this. Joined, coming out of, Germany, Dusseldorf, basically, 20 minutes away, is Khalif Wailin Walter. And Khalif, a fan question, literally, and this comes from one of the high-ranking members of the Blues Association over in North Carolina. His name's Terry Van Cannon. He says, can Khalif tell us about his guitar, his amps, and any effects he may use?
Yeah, sure. I have, wait a minute here. This one, it's in pieces right now. This is the one that did the CD. Most of the stuff that's on the CD right now is this one, but it's in pieces right now, and that one's being. And then my other one is this one right here. This beauty right here. And everybody can see that. Get a close-up look at that one. And yeah, the important thing is the right there. The Khalif caster, yeah. I've been building. I worked in a guitar store in Chicago, and picked up quite a bit. Guitar Works in Evanston, and picked up quite a bit about how guitars work. And I like the Telecaster body and that Telecaster neck. And I love the sound of humbuckers, Les Paul. And I couldn't find the guitar that gave me the sound that I really wanted, so I started building my own guitars a couple of years ago. And that's what you see most of the time. You'll either see me using one of the Khalif casters, which is basically it's a Tele body with rosewood neck, and I don't tell anybody what the electronics are in it. Sort of my secret sauce, but basically think rear pickup AC/DC or AC/DC and maybe Billy Gibbons, and front pickup think Wes Montgomery or Kenny Burrell. So yeah, I wanted something that gave me everything in between. And I've an endorsement with Vox. If you can see my Vox AC30 sitting behind me, the AC30 did almost everything that you hear on the CD. I use in the studio a trick. Lonnie Brooks, I'm happy to share this actually. Lonnie liked the sound of mixing a Class A amp and a Class A B amp. So that means like a Fender Twin or Deluxe Reverb, and generally when I'm playing live, if I got somebody to carry all this stuff, I have an AC30 and a Fender Twin for the really big stages, and for the smaller ones I have Deluxe Reverb and a Vox AC15, and mic them both up, keep them turned down a little bit low. I don't like to blast the volume out. It's not necessary. I like a better tone from you turn it up enough to push the tubes, but not, you don't need to crank it. And for effects, actually, I use a lot of stuff. I know people that have seen my setup. I use a lot of pedals, but I don't use them, I think, in the way that people think that I do. I don't use them to give me the sound. I use them to add color to my sound, is what I use them for. I'm a really big tone junkie, but I think 90% of it really is just your hands. I use a D&M overdrive pedal. I had a Badass, MXR Badass overdrive. I use a fuzz pedal from Keeley, which is really cool. I love that fuzz pedal. I use a Strymon, Lex pedal to give me my Leslie, and that sounds really good in stereo. That sounds really, really cool when you use it in stereo. I also have a Hughes and Kettner that I use to get my Leslie sound. And then I also have a delay pedal, very, very cool. What is the name of that one? It's a Strymon tape echo pedal, which I absolutely love. That's on I use that on Why Did I Do It? And I use it on another tune, Worries, Worries, Worries. That's where I get that sort of
Led Zeppelin-y kind of tape delay sound is using that. And so I don't use the pedals to give me. I use them to give me color for only for a specific color. So that's why I do have a lot of pedals, but I don't rely on the pedals to give me the sound. I really rely on my hands to give me the sound. And also I have an endorsement with GHS strings, and I use a very heavy gauge string, 11 through 50. So I don't anybody that's a guitar player, you'll know what that means.
Totally understand. I really do. Nice that you mentioned Billy Gibbons there. I actually worked with ZZ Top in one of the shows that came to New Zealand. And
Love Billy.
little story there is sitting in the back, in the green room back behind the stage, after we did the show, the boys come in, all grab themselves their appropriate waters and, all sorts of stuff. And Billy comes up to me with his guitar. He looks at me and I'm looking at the guitar and he hands it to me and goes, "Treat it well. Play me something." So he handed me his guitar,
Wow.
and for a good half hour, he's showing me little finger chords, little tricks and everything on his own guitar. You just don't get away from stuff like that. That's a memory forever. You know what I mean?
Cool. Yeah. You know what? I got one story like that too. We were playing. Lonnie Brooks was playing with Jimmy Vaughn, and I wanted to meet him. I had never met him, and I really wanted to meet him. And I was walking around when he was doing his sound check, and I was looking for him, and I didn't see him. And I bumped into somebody who was down on the floor, and I was like, "Oh, sorry." And I looked down, and it was Jimmy. And he goes, "Oh man, I'm doing my sound check." And he goes, here, check this for me. And he handed me his guitar, and he goes, "Let me go out in the audience and see how it stands, how it sounds." And he handed me his guitar, and I was like, "This is cool." So I ended up playing with Jimmy's band. It was very cool. Did his sound check for him. It was a very, very cool cat.
I love stuff like that. I really, really do. And believe me, being an engineer and travelling around the world with some of the biggest bands in the world, I've got to be honest with you, there's always a gem that you can take away from it. You know what I mean? It's always one of those. And I love how people tell me about things like that. For instance, I was talking to a guy who's what we call our resident Elvis. I got to be honest with you, his name is Anthony Ligori. He turns up with an award-winning and life member to the music awards and everything like this, writer who literally spent a huge amount of time with Elvis himself. You know what I mean? And wrote a song about it. And he described in one of the songs, because I pulled him up on it. I says, "You're talking about Elvis passing you in the middle of the night in a guitar and watching his rear tail lights disappear like two cigarettes in the middle of, in the dark." And he goes, "Exactly." So he told me the story about how this all transpired. Elvis is screaming past him at 100 miles an hour. Good friends, waving, saying good night on the way to the next gig. You know what I mean? And you just see those red lights disappearing. Fantastic story. I love stuff like that. I really do. And it just makes you, it bears the question, really, it does. Can you feel my groove?
Yeah.
Now, Khalif, I got to let you know, 1888, this is all the eight, literally, requests since we've started playing it. Tell me about the success. How did you get so popular? Tell me about Can You Feel My Groove?
This one, the band is really funky. I love funk music. I've always, my first band that I played in was a funk band, and I have always absolutely loved funk music. And this kind of came about, it was just it sort of fell into place from a sound check. And then we started toying around with it. I got the guys to play, so I always have a digital recorder and record everything just to critique it afterwards. And we did a little bit we played around a little bit with it, and I took it home and I wrote the song, and then we came back and we played it in rehearsal, and I was like, there is no way in the world we are going to be able to get away with this at a blues festival. It's not going to happen. People are, this is not going to work. And so at first let's just play it for the sound check and see what happens. and it was so popular, we ended up going ahead and doing it. I was quite surprised. I mean, I really did not. I thought, I was like, sometimes I feel like my music is on the cusp of what people would consider blues, and I feel it all equally. I mean, I don't put out anything that I don't feel myself. But I was like, this has got to be over that limit right there, and it wasn't. So I love playing the song, and again, it gives me a chance to sing in a way that I didn't sing before. So yeah, I totally dig it. So.
Khalif, believe me, you feature quite a lot on a Tuesday night. We do the blues show on a Tuesday night. Monday nights we do the Galaxy Artist. We put you in there because we knew we were going to do the interview with you. And, well, we play you quite considerably, I got to admit, through the breakfast show as well. So, my friend, 1,888 people since we've been playing you have requested this song. Can you feel my groove? Here's Khalif Wailin Walter. How you feeling, bro? You okay?
Cool.
How you feeling? You okay?
Yeah, good.
Hey May, nice to meet you, darling.
Oh, May's on.
Yeah.
Wow.
John and May.
We're joined by royalty now. We literally are. John Pater's wife.
Yeah.
May has joined us. Of course, we're talking about Ashley Pater, the young lady who has 3 top charting songs on the charts, and a brand spanking new one that's breaking ground right now too, by the way, Sober. Loving that track, really, really are. Khalif, we're going to wrap it up after this, but I want to tell you personally how much of a pleasure it has been doing an interview with you.
Thank you so much. It's cool hanging out with you.
Well,
I've enjoyed this.
I would love it if we could do it again. Are you looking at releasing anything new in the near future?
Yeah, I'm actually working on a new CD. It is completely and totally different. It is back. That right now, I think that's 21st century. This goes back to New Orleans and Chicago and T-Bone Walker. It's definitely more of a root CD. But it is full of sing-along songs. That's what everyone that I said that has had. I keep the project really wrapped up. Not everybody knows about it, but the musicians that have worked on it, it's full songs. So yeah, I'm curious to see this. The next one I think is going to be even more commercial than this one. So
very, very cool. Because I would love to do another interview with you. Release some new music with you. I got to welcome you to the family, bro, because now that we've done an interview, you're part of the family. We would love to be able to follow your career, everything like that. Now, I'm just going to say, if you've got any spare CDs, how about sending us a few down here that we can do some giveaways? Keep your name rolling on our station. What do you reckon?
Sure. I'll do that. I have none at the moment. Because since I have to buy the new one, I have to buy from the record company because I don't own the rights to produce it. And so yeah, as soon as I get some, I'll send you guys some. I'll let you know. But I haven't been keeping them around because I don't have any gigs to sell them on.
Fair enough. By the way, if you've got any T-shirts, well, people watch these, and before you know it, they're on the interwebby thing. They're finding out who Tommy Steele is. Coming out of Nashville. Yeah, he's a bro. He is. Check him out.
I'll do that. I'll send you a Barbara one too. T-shirts, the same things. I don't have any of the T-shirts right now because I'm not doing any gigs, so I don't have any laying around.
It's all cool, bro. I understand. But what I'll do is I'll get Barbara to send you our sizes. I'll throw one in for the on-air producer as well. She goes, yeah, me that one. Yeah, you know what?
Okay.
But hang in there for a minute, bro. We'll wrap this up. Then we'll do some crazy photos and stuff like that, okay? no. It's not supposed to happen. What the heck? New Orleans ladies. New Orleans lady. You know something? I miss Bourbon Street. I really, really do. And, well, Khalif Wailin Walter's music is not helping me miss it because, believe me, it's right there. I love that. I really, really do. Khalif, we're going to have to wrap this up right now. But please, don't go anywhere because we're going to do a few things after we do the show. We really are. And believe me, you'll be able to say to your friends, look at this, these guys, yeah, New Zealanders, what can I say? But it has been an absolute pleasure having you here at Galaxy. Will you please, please, please come back again?
Yes, I will. Very much so, yeah.
Love it. Absolutely love it. So hang in there, my friend. But in the meantime, let's go back over to the other studio right now. You're right here at Galaxy. Have a great day. Happy radio, everyone.